Bill Kristol is now a resistance hero. Why? Because he's a Republican, and he's a conservative, and he despises Trump. And in mainstream media, that makes them hard. Because they see that and they go, yes! We can serve the establishment while also saying we don't like mean tweets. Yes! This is beautiful. So anyway, here's Bill Kristol weighing in on the discourse as to whether or not Washington, D.C. should become the 51st state, or Puerto Rico should become the 51st state, or should we have both, and then we have 52 states. Here's the contribution of Bill Kristol, and now you'll see why he never should have been allowed back in the polite society club. One reason I'm for DC statehood. The growth in size of the republic and our distinctive manner of growth, admitting states with equal status, has always been a sign of our vigor. 60 years at 50 states is enough. Time for DC, Puerto Rico, Cuba, as soon as it's free, one or two more. He's saying, yeah, okay, I'll take DC and Puerto Rico. What about Cuba? You guys want to take Cuba for a state? Washington, D.C. is part of the United States. Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory, so it's part of the United States. Cuba is its own sovereign country. Now, you don't have to like Cuba, Bill Kristol, but you don't get to willy-nilly annex it. Jack Cuba. Be like, mine. This is what happens when you let a neocon, war hawk, war criminal, imperialist in the club. In the cool kids, resistance, mainstream media, corporate hack club. Here we are. Here we are. Let's steal a sovereign nation and somehow tell us pretty little stories about how we believe in justice and fairness and equality and democracy. I mean, hilariously, that's what he's saying in this tweet. He's talking about how, well, admitting new states has always been a sign of how amazing we are. Our vigor. How great we are. Anyway, let's steal sovereign countries. Wouldn't that sort of contradict the thing where you're saying how great we are and how amazing we are and how wonderful we are? If any other country acted like this, what would Bill Kristol say? Topple them. They're ripe for regime change. Imagine Iran casually musing, what if we stole a country? He'd be like, oh my God, invade today! Go, 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 go! We know that's how he would react. Because he's saying that in Iran isn't trying to steal a country. This guy has never met a war he didn't like, ever. Ever. If this guy had his way, we'd already be at war with Iran. We'd at the same time take on North Korea. We'd probably also be in Venezuela. He's always for regime change. By the way, he's a literal war criminal. He should be in prison. He should be in The Hague. This is a guy who was one of the original architects of the Iraq War. And just so you know, it shows how terrified you should really be, because look at how dumb he is. And he was making major, massive decisions that impacted people's lives. This psychopath, he's got blood on his hands, man. Minimum, absolute minimum, 200,000 civilians died in Iraq. A war that he enthusiastically supported. Every prediction he made was dead wrong about Iraq. Every single one. Nobody should take this guy seriously. And by the way, the only reason he even disliked Trump is because Trump's rhetoric on the campaign trail in 2016 was vaguely populist. Now, Trump didn't govern in a populist way. He brought John Bolton in for foreign policy, so this guy's clearly serving the establishment. There's no doubt about that. But the thing that Bill Kristol didn't like is that every now and then Trump would say war's bad, and every now and then Trump would say, hey, maybe we shouldn't outsource all of our jobs. That's what made Bill Kristol turn on him. And mainstream media still was swooning and fawning over Bill Kristol. Oh, he said Trump is bad. I also think Trump is bad. Sir, you're a hero. You're a hero, sir. This guy, let's steal Cuba. You in favor of that? I'm in favor of that. You in favor of that? I'm in favor of that. I think we should steal Cuba. Again, you don't have to like Cuba, but you don't get to willy-nilly steal countries. That's not how it works. And if this guy had his way, he would definitely go back to the Batista days. If this guy had his way, we'd have dictator U.S. puppets everywhere. Venezuela, Bolivia, Iran, North Korea, I mean, you name it. So he doesn't believe in any of the things he says. He pretends he believes in democracy and freedom and human rights. In practice, he's against every single one of those things, which makes him the most obnoxious. Because he cloaks himself as this virtuous man, crusading for justice, when in reality, he's the exact opposite. He's a human rights violator, he's a warmonger, and a war criminal, and he's pro-dictatorship. He's a joke. He's a joke. So congratulations to everybody in mainstream media who rehabilitated this goon. And listen, I don't know how many times I could tell you guys, I've said it a million times, but think of Bill Kristol in the same way you think of like Michael Avenatti. I remember when I was one of only a handful of people who was out there saying, I don't trust this fucker. But everybody else was like, oh, he's saying Trump is bad. What a great, great man. Yes. It's like, that's not enough. That's the lowest bar of all time to clear. I don't like Trump. Oh, congratulations. What a fucking hero you are. That's not hard to deduce. It's not hard to deduce that the guy who said, let's take out their families, talking about killing the family members of terrorists, not hard to deduce that that guy's an asshole. The guy who called Mexicans criminals and rapists, not hard to tell he's an asshole. Not hard at all, actually. But again, as long as you're out there on mainstream media and you're saying the most banal anti-Trumpisms, they come themselves and they lose their mind. Oh my God, he's so wonderful. Well, look at Avenatti, look at Bill Kristol, look at all the other idiots who are rehabilitated. Look at the Lincoln Project, the spectacular implosion of those guys. Now you know, don't fall for it. Actually have standards, have principles. Again, this guy's a war criminal. He should have never flown under the radar to be in such a prominent position moving forward, and he should be out of polite society ASAP.